All right, well, that actually turned out pretty good. All right, we're up. I just screwed stuff up. We're up on Facebook and YouTube. All right. That was a pretty good guess for having to reinvent everything. The critters got a little excitable in the yoga room at some point last day or so, and after we put everything back up, so it worked out. I'm a little bit late. Sorry about that. But I think we're good. All right. Good morning, YouTube. So I'm over caffeinated, which isn't unheard of, is it? And we got some fun Halloween stuff going on this weekend. Hopefully, you can get out and enjoy it as well. And maybe you'll have some trick-or-treaters or whatever over the week if you'll participate in that sort of thing. If you know me personally, you know I'm like a Halloween freak, so I'm excited anyway. So what I thought we'd do today is just work our poses and do some sun salutes. So it's a little bit more intense, but it'll be a little more, a little shorter. I'm thinking 30-ish minutes, but we'll see. Yeah. So if you want something a little more laid back this morning, probably not today, or probably not the live version, right? Remember, you can always scroll back from weeks past and find something that's right for you anytime, right? Not just Saturday mornings. So if you can't join me live, there is always the archived videos. So like I say, we're just gonna kind of whip through it. But remember, you can skip one, right? You can add something else. You can modify every single one of them, right? And the whole 108 salutes, sun salutes that some do. We're not doing 108, trust me. We're not doing 108. So come on over to the mat. We will do a little bit of warm-up always. And then just kind of go at your own pace and see what happens. Right? Never know. So bringing the feet up underneath the hip bones. Check in that your toes point forward. Feeling the four corners of the feet grounding to the floor. Remember that little tuck of the tailbone, lifting the pelvic floor, lower belly in and up, tall through the sides. Relax through your shoulders and bring the head in line with the rest of the spine. So ears over shoulders, over hips, over ankles. Feeling it? Stay connected to your standing foundation here and begin to observe your breath. And at first, just watching. And then gradually allow yourself to extend the breath, inhaling a little longer, exhaling a little bit more completely. Finding that just beyond comfortable place for the breath. And with our sun salutes, we typically move with the breath, so part of that will be a little easier, right? Staying connected to the breath. Use your Jai breath if you'd like, right? Making that kind of that noise of the ocean kind of idea in the back of your throat there. And then with the next inhale, we'll take the arms and stretch them to the ceiling. Exhaling, bring them back down. Again, like that. Let's go one more. Coming back to the top. When you get there, interlace your fingers. You can rotate the palms toward the ceiling if you like. We'll exhale to the right. And then inhale center. And exhale to the left. Back to the top with the inhale. And just gently move side to side. Keeping the shoulders relaxed, the hips over the ankles. Gradually deepening the stretch. Once more in each direction. When you're back to center, exhale, releasing the arms. So let's go ahead and take the hands to the thighs here. Lean as much as you need to lean. Keep the belly supporting here. Exhale, come over into a little half fold kind of place. And then a bend in through the knees, and we're going to roll on back up. So exhaling forward. And inhaling on the way back up. On the way down, think flat back. And then really round it. Tuck the tailbone, bring your forehead forward. Take a few more flows like that. We're going to come over into that half fold, and this time we're going to hold it. Bend the knees enough to rest your forearms. You can lean if you need to lean, of course. Let's take the left arm, sweep it up toward the ceiling. Then you can let your body kind of lean to the side. Notice how that right knee wants to pop out forward. Let's release it and switch. We'll release that back to center again. Leaning on the legs here, take them straight-ish. Try not to lock your knee. And then nice and easy over into whatever your full fold looks like this morning. And you can walk in place, you can wiggle, you can shift your hips, move your shoulders. Just give yourself a nice little stretch here. And then finding your full fold, bend your knees, of course, if you need to here. We're just going to take a big step back with the right foot and wiggle. You can drop the right knee if you like. Step forward again and then fold. And then step back with the left foot. And again, just kind of shift into the hips, wake them up. And then step forward again. So you can definitely step back into either a down dog or a plank or wherever you want to go first here. But maybe try a little bit of a hop, right? So in Ashtanga Yoga, they hop back into planks to work their sun salutes. We're not necessarily going to do that, but let's play a little bit, see what happens. So come up on your toes, bend your knees, use your belly way more than you think you're going to need to. And then plant your hands. So again, bending your knees if you need to. Right? Go ahead and start hopping your feet back, even if it's this tiny little hop, right? It doesn't have to be all the way back immediately, right? But you get to where you get, right? And just kind of play with it a little bit. Maybe rock back and forth through your down dogs. And again, just step back if that's you. It's not a big deal, right? Just kind of playing around a little, making it more or less challenging always, depending on what you need here. So remember the four corners of the hands, shoulder width apart. We're going to settle into a down dog here for a moment. So really press the hands down into the mat nice and even. Press the chest back toward the thighs. Let your head hang. Sinking into the heels, not touching the floor necessarily, just pressing back. And then from down dog, shift forward into a plank. Hold it for a moment here. If you need knees, take knees. Shoulders neutral on the back. Belly is working like crazy. Head in line with the spine. Press out through your heels. And again, if you need to be on the knees, take the knees. We're going to bend the elbows tight to the sides and come on down to the belly. So hands next to the side ribs. Again, hugging your elbows in. Inhale, roll into your shoulders. Palm up by your ears together on your back and down toward your hip bones. Exhaling, releasing. So take a few flows like that. Making sure the belly is engaged. Once more. And then just resting on the mat for a moment. Keep those elbows in, working into either kneeling or back into plank. And then go ahead and drop back into a child's pose. Get the arms a nice stretch here, coming up on the finger pads, maybe stretching your fingertips forward, sitting your hips back. Feel the stretch into the arms and shoulders, lower back. And then planting the four corners of the hands again, making your way back to down dog. We'll step the feet forward, coming up back into the standing fold. Bending back in through the knees, we'll roll on up through the spine. All the way back to standing. So let's get our balance pose out of the way. Off the mat, near a wall, whatever you need to do here to make yourself a little more comfortable with standing on one foot. We're going to shift all the way over into the right foot and simply lift the left. Go ahead and open the knee, bring the foot to the inside of the right leg. Avoid being on the knee joint. We're going to press the foot into the leg and the leg back into the foot. So this left foot can be a little lower, or it can be a little higher. Find where is right for you. Standing tall, and the arms can do what you need them to do. Maybe extend towards the ceiling. You can open the hands, look up. You decide where to go from there. Keep the legs working. And notice the wobble in the right foot. It doesn't make you fall down, does it? Sometimes. But not necessarily. We're going to take just a couple more breaths over on this side. And then bring it back in. And we'll switch. All right, so same idea on the second side. Sometimes one side is a little different, so just go with it. Leaning to the left, lifting the right, opening it up, and then finding where that foot needs to be. So if it does naturally fall to the knee, probably below. But if you need to pull it up and in, go ahead. Right? So finding your challenge, hugging in, tucking the tailbone, standing extra tall, and then adding in whatever little fun extras you'd like. Take another nice big breath. And then bring it in. Releasing it all. And coming back to this, to stand at the top of the mat if you enjoy it. So we're going to use the breath moving through our sun salutes. Remember to adjust. Take your time if you need an extra breath in something, or if you want an extra breath in something, take it. So from the top here, we're going to reach the arms up, inhaling. Exhale, take yourself over into a fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhaling, step yourself back to that plank or kneeling plank and drop all the way down to the belly. Inhaling into cobra. Exhaling, make your way back to down dog. And inhale, step forward, fold. Halfway up again. And then back over. All the way up, inhale. Exhale, release. So we'll do a couple more simple, right, like that, and then we'll start adding some things in here and there and changing up, maybe hold it, right? So inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Halfway. And plank. All the way down. Cobra. Maybe expanding into your cobra a little bit deeper, right? Back to down dog. Into fold. Halfway up. And fold. To the ceiling. And release. One more. Just for fun. With your breath, on your own, go. All right. So we're going to start adding in some things here and there. If you want to do that little hop back that we did at the beginning, remember you can always thread that in, right? And maybe it's a hop forward. See what happens. See where you're inspired to go. So on the inhale here, we're going to sit into a chair. And then take it to fold. Let's inhale halfway up. Back into our plank. All the way down. Cobra. And back to down dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward into a lunge. Drop that heel or knee and come all the way up. Exhale, come all the way back down and back to down dog. Forward into a plank and down to the belly. Into cobra, back to down dog. Left foot forward. Heel or knee to the mat, lifting. Back down again. Down dog. Forward into plank. Down to the belly. Cobra. And down dog. So hold down dog or drop on into child's pose. Take a little break. Smooth the breath. If you drop down into child's pose, go ahead and lift back to down dog. With the inhale, we're going to step the feet forward, back to the fold. Come halfway up on an inhale. Fold over again. Inhale into chair. And exhale to release. So same idea in these next ones. Just again, remember to make it your own, thread things through. Right? Let's inhale into a chair. Exhale into fold. Come halfway up. And then back to plank. Down to the belly. We're gonna hold here. Hands next to the side ribs. You can use just a plain old shoulder roll, like we started off with. We can add a little bit more. So let's add a little bit more. Keep the toes on the floor. Roll the shoulders like we did at the very beginning, hugging the elbows in, extending through the chest. Pull with the hands like you're gonna pull your belly button forward. And then start to press into your arms, coming almost straight. Try not to lock out the joint. Rely on the muscles rather than just locking your joints. And if you like, lift your thighs up off the floor. Shoulders down away from the ears. Release it down. Press back, up and back to down dog. And step forward into fold. Halfway up. Fold it back over. Into chair. And release it. So let's do it again. Inhale in the chair. Take it to the fold. Halfway up. Back to plank. Hold in plank. And drop to the knees. Right foot to the right side of the mat, opening up for a side plank. So modify this side plank however you'd like. We're going to take just a couple more breaths. Release it back to your normal plank, kneeling plank, wherever you want to go with that. And switch sides, so the left foot over to the left, opening the body to the right. Again, modifying in any way that feels right for you today. One more breath. And back to kneeling plank or full plank. Dropping down to the belly. Rolling into cobra. Releasing back to down dog. And then holding your down dog, dropping into child's pose, whatever you need there. And if you drop down, lift back into down dog. And with the inhale, step the feet forward and come to fold. Halfway up. Folding over. Into chair. And release. What else? Let's see. Inhale into chair. Exhale into fold. Halfway up. Back to plank. All the way down this time. Cobra. And down dog. Left foot forward on an inhale. Drop the back heel. Lift up into warrior two this time. So arms parallel to the floor. Check and see that you can see your big toe here. Relax your shoulders. And then let's cartwheel the arms back around into lunge and step back to down dog. Forward into plank. And down to the belly. Cobra. Down dog. Left foot's gonna step forward. Spin the heel down, cartwheel the arms up, warrior two. And then cartwheel back around into lunge and back to down dog. Sliding forward for plank. Down to the belly. And cobra. And back to down dog. So remember down dog or child's pose. Big full breaths. Feeling like you're working it? One more breath where you are. Coming back to down dog. And then stepping forward on an inhale. Halfway up. Folding back over again. Into a chair. And exhale, release it. Let's go one more on that side and a twist maybe. See how that goes. So sit into chair, inhaling. Take it over into fold. Halfway up. Back to our plank or kneeling. Remember, hop if you'd like to hop. Take it to the belly. Rolling into a cobra. And then back to a down dog. We're going to step the right foot forward for lunge. Keep the lunge here. Drop the back knee if you'd like. Take that right arm and sweep it up toward the ceiling. Big breath. And then release, stepping back down dog. Slide forward for lunge or for plank. And take it to the belly. Cobra. And back to down dog. Left foot stepping forward this time. Work your toes all the way up. Drop back knee if you'd like. And take that left arm sweeping up. And let's release. Step back to down dog. Slide forward for plank. And drop down. Into cobra. And down dog. So hold your down dog or drop down. Back to down dog. Inhale, step the feet forward for fold. Halfway up. And back over. All the way. Oops, forgot my chair. And then release it all. I got thinking about legs up the wall and then gone. All right. So that's enough of the whole sun salute thing, but it just shows that you can thread anything you want into a sun salute, right? I mean, there's the prescribed pieces, but then make it your own. If you need something here or there, thread it in and then you get it all. That's the both worlds. So from the top of the mat, let's go ahead and reach up, fold forward. Go ahead and step yourself back to a down dog. And then drop on down to child's pose. Maybe take the hands back by the heels and see if your shoulders appreciate that. If not, take them forward again. Sitting up on the heels, we'll bring the legs around front. So start with the legs out nice and long. Make sure you feel upright on your pelvis. Sit extra tall and reach the arms. Hinging forward from the hip, come into a fold. Taking just a couple more breaths in your fold. And then we'll inhale, hinge back up again. Releasing the arms. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. Hanging onto the ankles here. Make sure you have some place to go behind you because we will roll back in a moment. So, soles of the feet together. Heels as close to the groin as you can get them. The elbows can press the inner hips down. Try not to just press your knees down, just the inner hips. And then if you'd like, you can hinge forward, belly button to heels. Well, keep the spine long. Right? Not about rounding over, not about getting your forehead to your feet. Right? Think hinging from that hip joint again. And take a couple more breaths here. And then we're going to hinge back up. Hang on to the ankles and lean back enough to balance. And then seat curving in through the spine, rolling down to your back. Keep the soles of the feet together and let them come to the floor. Resting, release your belly, and release that inner hip. And let's go ahead and bring the knees together. Drawing the knees into the chest, letting yourself rock. Hug them in good and tight here. Open the arms out into a T, and now let your knees just fall to the right. So if you want to make adjustments, feel free to do that. But see about this just simple twist, right? You don't have to complicate it or change your legs or shift your hips. Just let it be what it is. And again, if you need to shift, go ahead and shift. Sometimes these different variations are what the body needs. Sometimes. We're going to come back through the center and take the same idea to the second side. So again, starting with those knees in tight. And then adjusting, of course, if you need to. As you take those legs over to the left, you just notice how one side is not always the same. And then we're going to make our way back to the middle again. So squeezing the knees in as tight as you can get, pulling the forehead to the knees. Releasing that out into a full body stretch. And then releasing the stretch and finding Shavasana, whether you lay flat or modify it one way or the other. And even though the practice was shorter today, remember to take at least a few minutes to just sort of soak it all in at the end. Right? Just giving your body a moment to be present, your mind to be present, and your body to be relaxed. And since you are at home and potentially undisturbed, you can stay in Shavasana as long as you like. Try not to turn it into a nap, but you get the idea. Right? Resting as long as the body needs to rest. Staying in Shavasana longer if you choose. Otherwise, gently wake the body and deepen your breath. Gradually making your way back up to a seated position, whether it's now or in another 5 minutes. Sitting well, bringing the palms to touch. Bowing to the light within. Namaste. Thanks for practicing with me this morning, you guys. Enjoy your weekend. Happy Halloween. Any other things that might be going on in your life. Remember to share and comment and ask questions and make suggestions if you have them. And I will see you next time. Bye, tomorrow.